Have you seen the show Billy? Billy Connolly, you wondered where he came from? Who is he? Well, he's a very successful comedian for many years in Europe, and now has made it big here in America. He starred in Ahead of the Class.
That's what I first remember.
And that show went off, and now he's got his own comedy series on ABC called Billy. Here's Billy Connolly.
Rugged.
Billy, how are you? Nice to see you.
Hello. Very nice to
Have a
meet you.
seat. Welcome to our show.
Thank you very much.
Suddenly there you were. You burst on the American scene just like... How did they find you?
Oh, I was at the Nelson Mandela, they did a big concert in Wembley in London for Nelson Mandela's birthday when he was 70. He was still in prison, and Whoopi Goldberg did it, and I did it, and hundreds of other people did it. And Whoopi asked me to come and do comic relief in New York.
Yeah, that's a big show here every year.
Well, I came and they wouldn't let me on.
Why?
Because they wanted all Americans. It was for farmers' relief or homeless or something, and they thought it'd be better all American. But then Whoopi had an HBO special and asked me to do that. And I came and did it about 18 months ago.
Gee, she's really been in your corner.
Oh, yeah. She's brilliant. I've got her to thank for
Now,
everything.
is this, let's see the accent here.
Scottish.
Scottish,
Yeah,
Scottish, yes, indeed.
Yeah, I come from Scotland. It's very strange, you know, it's a strange accent. People think I'm Australian in America for some absurd reason.
Yeah.
But actually in Scotland you can't get any further away from Australia.
Yeah, that's right.
Sometimes they get it wrong here, don't they?
You were a folk musician for a lot of years?
Yes, I was a banjo player. I used to sing, my ambition was to become Earl Scruggs, the great American banjo player. I spent most of my life wanting to be Hank Williams. And I played banjo and sang ridiculous American songs. And I used to, because the banjo stuff is all very, very strange, you know, like guitar players get all songs about falling in love and stuff.
Yes.
But banjo players are always singing about chicken pie and things like that.
Yeah, right.
It doesn't lend
Nobody
itself,
falls in love with a banjo player, you know?
doesn't lend itself to evergreen or the way we were.
No, it doesn't, you know, it's
Yeah.
so you can't be really serious about it. So I was always kind of funny, or attempted to be funny, and I didn't realise I was a comedian. I read it in a newspaper one day. I thought I was a folk singer at the time.
Yeah.
You know?
Must have been quite a shock for you to learn you were a comedian.
Yeah, see, I always wanted to be one. But I wasn't sure how you go about that. You know, like, there was no comedy clubs.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of hair and a big beard, so I was too scruffy for cabaret, and there's too young for vaudeville. And, you know,
Just to everything.
because we still have vaudeville in Britain,
Do you?
especially in Scotland.
That's
yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
That's great.
it's lovely.
Well, how are you adapting to life in America?
Oh, I like it. I think it's wonderful.
Where do you live, Billy?
I live in Hollywood. I
Do
live
you?
in the
Big
Hollywood
Hollywood
Hills.
star.
Oh, yeah.
When you were a kid going to the little movie house there in Glasgow, you saw all those Hollywood legends. You said,
I got to dinner with some of them now.
yeah. Who'd you have dinner with recently?
What, Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman and Billy,
Yeah,
together.
absolutely. I live next door to David Hockney, the artist.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
unbelievable. Frank Zappa lives in my street. It's really weird, you know. Because sometimes you have to do
eclectic
this
neighborhood.
in the daytime. You know, you
Sure.
go to a party and there's all these people. It's unreal. But I do love it. I've always liked this.
What's not to like, right?
And in some absurd way, I always thought it would happen.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's because you're naive or whether you have a great belief in yourself, but you think it's going to happen eventually.
Well,
it's weird seeing you.
Really?
I feel that way every
I've
morning.
seen you for years and years.
Really,
But
Billy?
it's so odd to see you.
Where have you seen me?
real? On telly. On television, when I was in America, I'd see you in the morning.
yeah.
Did you used to have a show on your own, just completely alone?
Those were the happy days.
Yes. Yeah, I remember that.
Those were the happy
You were nice.
days.
You were a very nice person.
Nice person.
I bring out
Nice,
the
smiling,
mean.
happy
Only when I
person.
started fighting for my life, Billy. Probably saw me on Lifetime Cable. I had a show over there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Aye, I
Now,
remember.
now, Billy, you know that old Scottish reputation, you know, a little
Rage.
tight.
Stingy,
Well,
yeah.
you keep hearing that, but that's not you, is it?
Yeah, well, listen, I'm not like that. But we're a very generous race. We're extraordinary, the Scots, you know. But I think so. I read somewhere that the city of Aberdeen was the first city ever in history to apply for a bankruptcy. It tried to become bankrupt.
Really?
It's, the way it's pretty common now. Even New York was.
Everybody's
They were
bankrupt
ahead of
now,
their
yeah.
time.
But then it was pretty rare, and it got this reputation
Yeah.
of being mean. But the Scots kind of enjoyed it. It became sort of part of the... Harry Lauder, the great Scottish comedian in the Victorian times, he would tip bellhops a penny. You know?
Ah.
And make a big show of it. You know,
You
don't
mean-
spend it all at once, my dear
Oh.
boy. And sort of made it big.
You mean that's not right?
Oh, no, it's absolutely untrue.
Billy, are you a married man?
Yes, I have 5 children.
5 children?
Yeah.
Do they have the Scottish a little bit of...
No, my son does. My son is 22, and he has a Scottish accent, and the rest are posh English. They all talk like that. Hello, Daddy.
Daddy.
Good morning. Oh, Daddy, you are awful.
Now,
Except now my children say I'm gross. And that's not one of my words. They, oh, Daddy, you're really gross. They go to school in Los Angeles.
yes.
And they do the oath of allegiance. And they're not even Americans. They do all this. They swear allegiance every morning
Yeah.
to the flag and stuff.
that's good.
How odd.
Now, Billy, how'd you meet your wife?
I met my wife on television. It's very weird. She's a comedian. You've interviewed
Was it a show
her.
called Stubbs? No, just kidding. Just having a little
That's
fun.
very good.
Billy likes
You
that.
know, I think I'll just go to the ladies' room and let you 2 kids have fun.
No, wasn't that good? You interviewed my wife. She was on Saturday Night Live about 7 years ago. It's a blonde Pamela Stevenson.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, sure.
She's my
She's
wife.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we met on television. She was in a show, a very successful comedy show in Britain called Not the 9 O'Clock News.
Yes.
And they did a sketch about the Ayatollah Khomeini, and I was the Ayatollah.
Ah,
And she was a rebel singing to me about
yeah.
how, and I was doing the slow motion running through the fog, you know. And
Yeah,
we
yeah.
met, and
Ayatollah fell in love there.
absolutely.
Yeah. That's great.
So we've
Well,
got children all over the
You're
place.
all set. You've got the kids, you've got the house, you live down the street from Frank Zappa. What
Frank
else does
Zappa.
one
I live
guy
the same
want?
street. I
What
can't
else could a
believe
person
it.
want?
It's like dying and going to heaven. I mean, he was my hero for it still is.
Frank
I love it.
Zappa?
Oh yeah.
Do you know-
He should have run for a presidency like he was going to, but he got sick. He would be a great president.
Well, now, Billy, does Frank know how you feel about him?
No, I've never met the man.
Well, you should go down.
I just hang around outside his house. You know?
Wait for him to walk out one day and then rush up and
I
tell him.
pretend I've run out of gas and make a lot of noises, hoping somebody. But he
We've
never
had
appears.
Moon Unit on and Dweezil. We could get in touch with
and
him
we've
for
had
you.
Frank on
And the
too.
great
I've never
names.
Yeah.
Dweezil.
Well, it's time for us to go, Billy. But first, we're going to show a little clip from your show, Billy. Tell me about your
You guys
series.
are cracking each other up.
Are you another teacher in this?
You know, I'm the same teacher, I'm the same guy.
I got you.
And I've moved along. I don't have a permit to work in America anymore.
It's like Green Card, the
It's,
movie
it's
Green
it's the
Card.
same situation. It's an old theme. Many people have used this green card idea, I think.
Sure.
Because I see it all the time on
Marriage
telly.
of convenience.
Right, and I live in the basement, and she lives upstairs with her 3 children, this woman. And yeah.
And you're down in the basement.
And I'm in the basement.
So this marriage has never been consummated.
No, we don't consummate. I try very hard. Consummation is my aim in life.
Yeah. All right, well, let's take a look at a clip here. Now, you're
You two
asking
have a lot
Mary,
in common.
Marie Marshall, why she joined your
My
poetry
class.
Here's a clip from Billy.
Then why did you join my poetry class?
Everyone said you were an easy elective.
An easy elective? An easy elective? Listen, I've been called many things in my life. I've been called a hairy-nostrilled, primitive scoundrel and jackanapes, a shaggy-featured, haggis-bashing Caledonian recalcitrant. But never in my short but colourful life has anybody called me an easy elective.
Well, he's a rather colorful character, too, isn't he? Yeah, he's
Playing yourself, right?
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Billy? Go ahead.
No, it's kind of difficult to talk to you without looking as if I'm going to dive on you, isn't it?
Billy, you better consummate this marriage soon.
You know, it looks as if I'm climbing over him to get to you.
I don't mind.
Billy's on 9:30 on Friday nights on ABC, and Billy Connolly, you're a real good guy. Nice to have you on the show.
What a pleasure.
We'll be right back in a moment.
Next on Live, actress Louise Fletcher.